Before this story begins, I have to warn you, it is about the night I heard footsteps in my apartment when I was completely alone. Not human. Not animal. Something else. I woke up to faint tapping sounds. Barely audible. My eyes remained closed. My brain tried to reason. Old pipes. Building settling. That happens. But the tapping continued. Light. Deliberate. Step. Pause. Step. Pause. It came from the hallway outside my bedroom. My pulse raced. Heart pounding. I told myself it was imagination. Night hallucination. Sleep deprivation. That happens. But the sounds were real. My ears confirmed it. Step. Pause. Step. Pause. Slow. Deliberate. I tried to ignore it, cover my ears, squeeze my eyes shut. No use. The sound persisted. I slowly opened my eyes. Darkness. Shadows stretched across the hallway. Nothing moved. Furniture was in place. Doors locked. Safety intact. Logic told me to relax. But my stomach twisted. Something, or someone, was out there. Watching. Waiting. I swallowed hard, whispering to myself, it's nothing. Buildings make noise. Human mind exaggerates. That happens. Yet fear pressed against me, thick and heavy. My apartment, my sanctuary, felt like a trap. I listened again. Step. Pause. Step. Pause. Closer now. I froze, breath shallow, heart racing. I wanted to scream. Couldn't. My throat closed. The sound stopped suddenly. Silence. Deafening. Too quiet. I strained to hear. Nothing. I exhaled slowly, trying to convince myself it was over. But deep down, I knew it wasn't. For those watching on YouTube or Facebook from a computer, PC, or television, please subscribe or follow the channel or page. Thank you. I sat up slowly, listening. The hallway remained silent. No footsteps. No movement. Good. It was over. That happens. Sounds disappear. Night tricks. I told myself it was nothing. My heart still raced, but logic returned. Buildings creak. Pipes shift. Ordinary noises. I exhaled. In. Out. In. Out. Calm. Safe. I convinced myself to relax. But the air felt different, heavier, like someone had been in the room while I slept. Impossible. Doors were locked. Windows closed. No one could enter. Yet the sensation remained. Being watched. Observed. I scanned the room. Everything looked normal: bed, chair, desk. Shadows in corners were ordinary shadows. Good. Nothing. I forced a small laugh. Paranoia. Night anxiety. That happens. The human mind creates threats in darkness. But deep down I didn't believe it. I remembered the footsteps: step, pause, step, pause. Deliberate. Not random. Not building noise. My stomach tightened. No. I refused to think about it. Attention gives power to fear. I focused on breathing. In. Out. In. Out. It helped slightly. I stood up, walking toward the hallway. If I checked, I would prove nothing was there. Logic. Evidence. I reached the doorway slowly. The hallway was empty. No movement. Good. Relief washed over me briefly. See? Nothing. My imagination. That happens. But then I noticed something on the floor. A small mark. Dark. Damp. A footprint. My breath caught. Not large. Small. Fresh. I knelt, touching it. Cold. Real. Evidence. Someone had been here. Inside. While I slept. My mind scrambled for explanations: water, dirt, something I tracked in earlier. That happens. But the mark looked recent. Too perfect. I backed away, heart racing. No. Impossible. Doors were locked. I double-checked. Still locked. Safety. Boundaries. Yet proof existed. Something had entered. And I didn't know if it was gone. For those watching on YouTube or Facebook from a computer, PC, or television, please subscribe or follow the channel or page. Thank you. I stood near the hallway, staring at the floor where the footprint had been. It remained, dark, faint, unmistakable. Evidence. My hands trembled. I told myself it was nothing. Water. Dirt. Something I tracked in and forgot. That happens. Memory is flawed. But deep down I knew it wasn't true. The mark looked fresh. Recent. As if someone had stood there only moments ago. My stomach twisted. No. Impossible. I live alone. No visitors. No roommates. Just me. I scanned the hallway again. Empty. No movement. No sounds. Good. Logic. Safety. I exhaled slowly. In. Out. In. Out. Calm. That helps. But the feeling remained, being watched. Quiet. Patient. I shook my head. Paranoia. Night anxiety. That happens. The human mind creates threats when it feels unsafe. I repeated it like a mantra. It helped slightly. I turned back toward the room, forcing myself to move. If I ignored it, it would lose power. Attention strengthens fear. That's what logic says. I stepped inside, glancing at the bed. The blanket was slightly disturbed, folded in a way I didn't remember. My heart skipped. No. I must have moved in my sleep. That happens. People shift while resting. Ordinary explanation. But the coldness remained, an unsettling chill in the air. Not dramatic. Subtle. Like the room remembered something. I laughed softly, nervous. Ridiculous. Imagination. Sleep deprivation. That happens. I sat on the bed, trying to steady myself. The footprint, the blanket, the strange feeling, explainable things. I convinced myself it was fine. Nothing dangerous. Just stress. But deep down I still felt it, the presence. Quiet. Observing. I didn't know what it wanted. I didn't want to know. For those watching on your computer or television, please subscribe or follow the channel. Thank you. I lay back on the bed, staring at the ceiling. The footprint, the disturbed blanket, the strange sensation, all lingered in my mind. I told myself it would pass. Nighttime illusions. Human anxiety. That happens. But my body remained tense, unwilling to relax. The room felt different, heavier, quieter, like something had passed through it. I closed my eyes briefly, hoping sleep would come. It didn't. Every small sound made me flinch, the ticking clock, the faint creak of furniture, the hum of electronics. Ordinary noises. Safe noises. Yet they felt amplified, unnatural. I opened my eyes again. Darkness. The same room. Nothing moved. Good. Logic. I exhaled slowly. In. Out. In. Out. It helped slightly. My heartbeat steadied. I told myself I was fine. No intruder. No threat. Just stress. But deep down I still felt it, the presence. Quiet. Patient. Watching. I turned my head toward the hallway. Empty. No movement. No sign of anything. Good. Safety. Boundaries. I repeated it in my mind. Nothing here. That happens. But the footprint remained in my memory. The disturbed blanket remained in my sight. Evidence. I swallowed hard. It must be imagination. Stress. Sleep deprivation. That happens. Humans misinterpret details in darkness. But I couldn't shake the unease. Something had visited. Something had observed. And I didn't know if it was gone. The night no longer felt safe. I realized I would not sleep easily. But I had to try. Morning would come. Sunlight would make things ordinary again. For those watching on your computer or television, please subscribe or follow the channel. Thank you. I sat up slowly, trying to breathe. The room felt heavier, as if the air itself had changed. I told myself it was imagination. Nighttime tricks. That happens. But the unease remained, quiet, persistent. I scanned the room. Everything looked normal: bed, chair, desk. Shadows in corners were ordinary shadows. Good. Nothing. I exhaled. In. Out. In. Out. Calm. Logic. That helps. I convinced myself it was fine. No danger. Just stress. But my eyes kept drifting to the floor. The footprint remained. Dark. Faint. Evidence. I swallowed hard. It must be water. Dirt. Something I tracked in and forgot. That happens. Memory is unreliable. Yet the mark looked fresh, too perfect. My stomach twisted. No. Impossible. I hadn't noticed it earlier. Someone, or something, had been here. I stood, walking toward the door. If I checked it, I would prove nothing was wrong. Logic. Boundaries. Safety. I touched the doorknob. Cold. Slightly damp. My hand trembled. That shouldn't happen. It should feel normal. Metal. Familiar. I turned it. Locked. Good. Safety. No entry. I exhaled in relief. See? Nothing. My imagination. That happens. But deep down I didn't believe it. The feeling remained, being watched. Quiet. Patient. I glanced back at the room. Shadows looked ordinary. Furniture in place. No movement. Good. I laughed softly, nervous. Paranoia. Night anxiety. That happens. The human mind creates threats when it feels unsafe. I repeated it in my head. It helped slightly. I told myself I would sleep. Morning would fix everything. Sunlight makes things ordinary. Until then, I would wait. And hope nothing returned. I lay back on the bed, staring at the ceiling. The night felt longer than usual, heavier. I told myself it would pass. Morning would come. Sunlight would make everything ordinary again. That happens. Dark thoughts fade with time. But the unease remained. Quiet. Patient. Like something waiting. I closed my eyes briefly, hoping sleep would arrive. It didn't. Every small sound made me flinch, the ticking clock, the faint hum of electronics, the distant creak of furniture. Ordinary noises. Safe noises. Yet they felt amplified, unnatural. I opened my eyes again. Darkness. Same room. Nothing moved. Good. Logic. I exhaled slowly. In. Out. In. Out. It helped slightly. My heartbeat steadied. I told myself I was fine. No intruder. No danger. Just stress. Night anxiety. That happens. But deep down I still felt it, the presence. Quiet. Observing. Not aggressive. Not loud. Just there. I turned my head toward the hallway. Empty. No movement. No footprints. Good. Safety. I repeated it in my mind. Nothing here. That happens. The human mind exaggerates threats. But I couldn't shake the memory, the step, pause of earlier sounds. The faint footprint. The disturbed blanket. Evidence. I swallowed hard. No. It must be imagination. Sleep deprivation. That happens. Humans misinterpret details in darkness. I convinced myself of it. Slowly. Reluctantly. It helped slightly. I sat up, breathing deeply. In. Out. In. Out. Calm. Control. I would survive the night. Nothing could hurt me. The apartment was safe. Locked. Boundaries intact. I glanced once more at the floor. The footprint was still there. Faint. Unmoving. A reminder. I looked away. It didn't matter. Morning would come. And with it, normality.